The Prezwalski horse is one of the oldest ancient horse breeds in the world, but now they are facing extinction in the wild. In this video, I will show you 2 problems that they are facing and solutions that we could do. Join me now on the journey to Mongolia. The long journey of the Prezwalski horse began in the ancient times, over 240,000 years ago. These magnificent animals first settled down in the area that is now northern China. For thousands and thousands of years, these horses galloped around the hills and plains without much change to their lifestyle. When the first humans found the horses in Mongolia, they began using them as food. After many generations, though, they were able to find a much larger purpose for these animals, using them to get around the rough terrain. To the nomadic tribes, the Prezwalski horse was a key feature of their lifestyle because they could use them to get around, move them to locations with them, and use them for their food and shelter when necessary. When more humans began to go to Mongolia, they began to use other types of horses, mainly breeds that were descendants to the ancient Prezwalski horse, and began to only use this horse for kill. As the human race grew, the plains and forests where these animals roamed were beginning to disappear. The plains and forests were destroyed by deforestation. More large machines were invented, which made the problem grow. With more tribes in Mongolia, the plains soon contained hundreds of tribes looking for shelter and food. The Prezwalski horse was soon killed for their skin and meat, with the populations one time over 50,000. The population in the 1800s had disintegrated into the thousands. In 1967, the population of these animals was so small that the last herd was seen in the wild. 2 years later, the Prezwalski horse in the wild was never seen again. Ever since, the only Prezwalski horse that are known are in captivity, where they hope the species might make it. These horses are truly the last wild breed to roam the plains, but they may be gone before any of its kind.
We used to be nomadic tribes who moved with the horses to find food. They were our friends that helped us survive. Then one year, the Prezwalski horses that normally come to us never came by. There was word of foreign people coming into our area, looking for food and shelter. We were worried that they would take our friends that kept us alive. Our fears became true when the hot sun came out one day. On the horizon was a lone horse. It howled as if telling us, "I need you." As an entire tribe, from the elderly to the young, we ran up the steep hill to look down on the valley where the remains of the young's herd lay frozen. We took in the last of the herd, hoping to protect it from harm as it was not more than 1 year old. The hardest day to begin, but much worse happened very quickly. Within the next 2 years, at least 400 horses were taken out in our area alone. The only ones left to survive, the young that could not live without help. As our tribe began to disintegrate, the Prezwalski horse did too. We had relied on these species for our lives, and without them, we were being destroyed too.
The first greatest problem to the survival of the Prezwalski horse has been deforestation. As this situation is becoming more dire, activists in 2007 and 2014 have been working to stop the damage done to this ecosystem. Also, an area has now been protected for these species with grass and shelter in its own habitat in Mongolia. Through the work of scientists, these animals are closely monitored for disease and offspring. In Askia, the largest captive breeding grounds for the Prezwalski horse, is now looking to increase the numbers of the horse bred and released into the wild by the hundreds, eventually thousands a year. Another large issue for the Prezwalski horse is hunting. From 1982, these animals have been protected against hunting. In Chernobyl, numbers have gotten over 200, but was quickly cut in half by poachers. Recent works have made the area stronger against poachers and are working on regrowing the population. Many zoos and wildlife zoos around the world are also working to breed, help, and release the Prezwalski horse. Unfortunately, many poachers do not plan to stop to save this special horse.